Lagos State government held that there's possibility that it may not borrow to finance its whopping 3.367 trillion naira budget for the year 2025. This was revealed by the State's Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Mr. Okwe George, and his counterpart, Commissioner for Finance, Abayomi Oluyomi, at a press briefing to analyze the year 2025 budget held at the Bagauda Cultural Press Center, Alausa, Ikeja.
Stood at 38% of the total budget size, out of which our personnel cost represents 12% of the total recurrent expenditure. Our personnel cost for 2025 increased by 146.003 billion compared to 2024. And this increase is a clear reflection of the state's commitment to implementing the salary increment, to pushing the effects of high inflation and the removal of the fuel subsidy. Our capital expenditure accounts for 62% of our total budget size, which is a demonstration of our administration's commitment to massive infrastructure renewal and development, as well as completing our ongoing projects. So looking at the breakdown of the budget again, which will be given out in terms of the various sectoral allocations, you'll find that our GPS, the General Public Services, accounts for about 16.9% of the total budget. Public order and safety accounts for about 4.2%. Economic affairs accounts for about 33.9%. Environment accounts for 8.5%. Our housing and community amenities accounts for 3%. Our health accounts for 6.6%. Recreation, culture, and religion accounts for 1.3%. Education accounts for 6.6%. Our social protection accounts for 1.1%. And looking at the sectorial statewide votes, we have about 17.8%. So our loan repayments and debt servicing about 9.3%. Our grants and counterpart funding about 1.9%. And our personnel costs, as highlighted earlier, accounts for 2.9%. It just remains for me on behalf of Mr. Governor to reassure you of his administration's utmost commitment to completing ongoing projects, which stands at the heart of this year's budget of sustainability. The state's consistent investment in intervention programs for students, entrepreneurs, farmers, fishermen, business and executives, market women, factory workers, etc., will further extend social support to the people of Lagos State, thereby nurturing their means of livelihood. So I'd like to take this opportunity to appeal to all Lagos citizens to keep supporting this administration by upholding the law, paying taxes in full and on time, in order to achieve the greater Lagos vision, as optimal execution of this budget relies heavily on the revenue generated within the state.
Our sustainability ratio is just about 20%. How does that compare with the global standard? World Bank ratio is about 30%. The national ratio of Nigeria is about 40%, and ours was just only 20%, which shows that our debts are being managed very, very well. But you see, the most important thing to us is what are our plans for this year? First and foremost, do not forget that budget is the statement of expenditure and income. So this year, in line with what we did last year, we have several strategic initiatives to make sure that we generate much more revenue. We catalyze the business environment. We take the opportunities that is the environment in different areas that you mentioned to be able to generate much more revenue. And the more revenue we generate, the better our debt sustainability ratio. Secondly, we're also going into what we call creative financing options, self-financing options. What does that mean? It means that there are different other strategic options that we will use to finance our project that does not, translate into debt. Which are some of the other things we also said we're going to be doing this year. So at the end of the year, you might find out that even the money that we said we're going to borrow, even the deficit financing that we're talking about, we might not even need to resort to deficit financing at all. But having said that, what I just want us to know is that for Lagos State, debt is not an issue. Because after all, we have generated over 80% of our revenue to finance our budget. So we're just borrowing about 10% of that budget. And like I said, we may not borrow it eventually. So for us in Lagos State, Lagos is a budget of sustainability, and we will ensure that we continue to move in the same direction to make sure that what we have said we will do, what Mr. Governor has promised the Lagosians, that dividend of democracy will be delivered, as it shows clearly in this budget. Because when you compare this budget with the actual of last year, it went up by over 70%. That is very, very unprecedented. And I think, and even for us at this particular point, Mr. Governor deserves a round of applause.
Both commissioners in their speech emphasized that the state government has put strategic plans in place to generate more money to take care of her budget deficit.
This year, we intend to ramp up our capacity with respect to ensuring that Lagosians don't suffer from flood incidents statewide. And so we've also captured the critical related infrastructure across the Benin division. That's Ikeja, Badagry, Ikorodu, Lagos, and Ekpe. That's across the 57 local government and LCDs. So what we want to do is to ensure that we keep ramping up the resilient infrastructure that will help us mitigate against the impact of climate change. Last year, we did so much. And we had serious rain incidents, but we had bits of flash flooding statewide. And what the governor has said is we have to improve on that and provide more infrastructure. We also mentioned here that we are trying to transit and decommission some of our landfills, namely Olushosu and the one on the expressway to Ekpe. So which means we are going to transit and implement more of our waste-to-energy projects and see them to fruition before the end of this year. Also captured here and is not mentioned is the Lagos Water Project, which is a major heavy lifting by this government. And 2 days ago, Mr. Governor was at Adiyan to see for himself the level of work that is ongoing there. And we've been assured that with the way we are putting our skin in the game, we should be able to complete Adiyan II.
Changes. The interchanges that we have 2 major ones right now we're working on, the Marina and the Mile 2. These are transportation hubs where the 3 transportation modes actually do meet, the water, the land, and the rail. So that also affords us the opportunity to be able to opt from one transportation mode to the other. Both of those projects should be completed by October, November this year. The Omieko was also mentioned is one major project that is going to change the outlook of our waterways and also give a direct impact on our transportation system. Imagine us moving only just 15-20% of the people on the road onto water. You'll be amazed at how much impact you'll make on traffic management. That includes a lot of channelization and dredging, and also improvement and building 25 new ferries. Most interesting of it is that there will be about over 72 electric boats that would come with this project. We are very big on infrastructure and road furniture because that, of course, enhances safety and also promotes good traffic management. So we've identified not just the Okwebe Junction improvement, some other areas that we need improvement on, and that will be done this year.
Be assured that we are shifting, we are also transiting in line with the best global practices from fossil fuel and all the issues that comes with it to more reliable, renewable products that you are going to see on the street. If you walk late in the campus now, you will see some new solar installations that are up now. If you go on the road towards Third Mainland Bridge, the posts are already going up, and before the end of next week, coming in and going out of Third Mainland and the old campus will have a new street light experience. Now, Light Up Lagos has gone beyond what we had several years down the line. What we are getting now is that the state is setting up energy hubs.
Upgrading and refurbishing our primary healthcare facilities and general hospitals. We're currently refurbishing 47 primary healthcare hospitals to bring them up to a very advanced stage of modernization, including the addition of solar panels to the in concert with the new policy of the state in terms of climate-friendly infrastructure. Our major big general hospitals are Massey Street, and everybody can see Massey Street is at an advanced stage. The same thing with Ojo General. Massey Street is going to be the pediatric center of excellence for Lagos, and it will represent the ability to refer patients from Nigeria and the sub-region. Ojo General Hospital is a major general hospital in between Alimosho and Badagry, where we have a gap in terms of access to secondary health care. Emphasis on mental health. We're building the largest mental health institute in Ketu Ejianis for psychiatric cases, as well as for addiction and rehabilitation. All our infrastructure is climate friendly. We are working together with the Ministry of Energy, with the Ministry of Physical Planning, and the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure to ensure that we have a low carbon footprint on all our developments across the state. Human resources for health is a major issue. Brain gain continues to be a problem for us. Mr. Governor has taken bold step now to advance the project in collaboration with the Ministry of Tertiary Education to build the standalone University of Medicine and Health Sciences. That project is actively ongoing.
With the collaboration of the Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology with other agencies such as the Office of Revenue and Taxation and also the Ministry of Transportation, we are enhancing different services using infrastructure to be able to enhance the revenue generation of the states. As such, there will be more digital platforms being launched this year, and the budget focuses a lot on that. The second thing that will be enhanced in 2025 is the investment and the funding of technology startups in the state. As you may well know, our Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council has been in the business of funding and enhancing the technology base of a lot of our small companies, small startups, and young entrepreneurs that are driving solutions for Lagosians across the board. We've successfully been catalyzing a lot of technology solutions with young entrepreneurs. In 2025, this is going to be no different, and in fact, is going to be enhanced. As you may well know, the governor committed about ₦1 billion last year to the funding of startups and also to the development of research and development initiatives in universities. What this basically means is that Lagos State government is going to be assisting its universities in the creation of new technology products.
For Lagos State, the year 2025 budget emphasizes on 5 key pillars: infrastructure and environmental sustainability, economic diversification, social inclusion, and human capital development, governance, and institutional reforms. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu had expressed satisfaction at the level of work on the Phase 2 of the Adiyan Waterworks project. The governor, who showed his excitement after inspecting the ongoing water project, said that it is expected to supply Lagos residents with 70 million gallons of water per day after completion.
You saw Adiyan 1, which is an existing waterworks that supplies water, all the way in different parts of Lagos. But the Adiyan 2 that has been known for, it's gone through a series of challenges, right? But Adiyan 2 is meant to produce 70 million gallons of water per day. And you can see from the working trip we had today, the civil works is about 80% completed. You saw all the major civil works. The electromechanical work, which has to do with pumps and feeders and all sort of electromechanical. You saw all the containers are there. So they will start fixing all of that, and I'm told about 70 to 75% of all the equipment are also on site. The third part, which is the raw water, which is where they are laying this pipe all the way to Akute into Ogun River, is what we've also come out here to do. We're believing that the contractor is working on all the three components, and they've assured us, given the financing plan that we have put together, but in another 10 to 12 months, that this whole place will be a completely different story. That Lagosians will begin now to plan for additional 70 million gallons of water per day entering into the water supply of Lagos.
Governor Sanwo-Olu spoke during a working visit to Adiyan Waterworks, inspecting the ongoing civil works that lasted for over 2 hours. The governor further revealed that the project, which is currently at 80% completion stage, will be completed within the life of the current administration. Governor Sanwo-Olu was accompanied by his deputy, Dr. Bafemi Hamzat, the Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, members of the State Executive Council, and other government officials. He also seized the opportunity to restate his administration's commitment to providing the 70 million gallons of water daily for Lagos residents.
I say thank you. And for those who following the trend of events in the U.S., when the governor said we must take our heavy lifting without waiting for donor agencies, it's already been indicated with what's happened to U.S. aid. Digress, U.S. aid promised us $48 million for 5 of our mini and micro water works, but Donald Trump had cancelled it. Thankfully, government said this we must take ourselves, and is already doing that. Mr. Governor, upon completion of this, the 70 million gallons, which is 11 million gallons from Adiyan 1, 4 million from Iju, and 4.5 from Chassis, we are sure Lagosians, about 5 or 6 million Lagosians, will have access to pipe-borne water.
Adiyan water treatment scheme was to be executed in 3 phases. Adiyan phase 1, which is operating next door, exists today. Adiyan phase 2, which is the reason why we're here, is under construction. And Adiyan phase 3, which we built on this same land that we're on. All these 3 water treatment schemes are to draw water from Akute at the River Obi. The total water abstraction will be about 1 million cubic meters divided into 327,000 cubic meters for Adiyan 1, 2, and 3. More recently, Mr. Governor's intervention and the unwavering commitment of the state government, payments have been made to both the contractor and the consultants here present today. And I'm happy to inform you, Mr. Governor, that as a result of these decisive actions, we are back to site and we're working, and we'll be happy to show you what's going on as soon as we finish with this part of implementation. The current project is separated into 3 phases. The first phase is the concrete works, which we saw on the way driving here. It's the actual water treatment plant with the filters and the treatment facilities, the dewatering systems. That's at about 80% completion. The next phase is the electromechanical equipment. They've been procured, 70% of them are here on site. They're stored in containers that are also on the way here. We can have a look at them. And the last phase will be the raw water line that goes from here back to Akute. About 1 kilometer of that has been completed. And 1 kilometer was completed, but in the past 4 or 5 months, they've done another 60 joints, which is about half a kilometer. So we want to appreciate the contractor's efforts in that realm. In closing and going forward, I want to reassure you, Mr. Governor, and the State Executive Council, the contractor, Salini, the consultant, CKW, and myself, representing the clients, Lagos State Government, are fully committed to realize this project's benefit to Lagosians.
We are coming to the realization of a project that will bring Lagos from the paucity of no supply to a project that will bring so much water to the state. And we reckon that we shall have about 6 million people to serve the water to on the west of the Texas Road and north of the aggregate area. That project has come to the point of realization, but like you know, money in the government budget is being competed by a lot of interests. and these interests have all priority zero. We came to the point where we hiccuped a little bit and realized that we couldn't do progressively the plan, but we did sufficiently to achieve so much in a short time. At the point where we went on work suspension, we have done about 80% of the civil works, and we have done delivery of about 60 to 70% of the electromechanical components. The hiccups have continued, and we have about 76 months, idle months, where equipment was down, was lying fallow. But, Your Excellency, sir, I want to thank you very much for the courage, the stamina to go back to this point. The Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, sir, has been in the whole picture from the beginning, and I'm sure the support he gives you will be a very tremendous support that brought back to life this project. The beautiful thing is we probably will be getting about 6 to 7 million people to get the water, but only if all of these are in place. And we believe that by February 2027, all things being equal, His Excellency and His Deputy will be commissioning the system.
This project is composed by three main bodies: the acute intake station, the pipeline, and the water treatment plant. And actually, we mobilize all of them. We employed already 150 people. On April, we're supposed to take additional workers. Right now, we work on all the sides. We have our work program. We share with the consultant, with the client, and we move based on our program. Our target is to complete the civil work within 1 year, as agreed with Mr. Governor. And myself, I'm very proud of how we approach the site this year. I'm very proud of my team. Actually, they are very, very motivated to do well. And we achieve. Actually, I'm happy to, I want to ask to go on site and see. The pipeline work is a tough work because of the depth of the excavation, because of the area. It's not an easy area, it's a rural area boys, a lot of traffic, but we were able to interact well with the environment, and we are moving forward very well.
But we still have work to do because at the transmission and connection end, we still have a lot of regulations that we need to go back and have the full complements of this water, and we can be rest assured that if we do our planning well, it should be able to even cross the Lagos Lagoon and get all the way to the island and some other parts of Ikoyi and Lekki. So our job is not finished yet. Our job, we still have a lot of work to do in terms of regulation, in terms of transmitting, these huge waterworks. There are existing lines that we're going to utilize, but we still need to build a bit more capacity.
The governor commended both the contractor and the local community for their cooperation in ensuring the provision of potable drinking water for Lagos residents.
We have an IPP in Akute. We're going to enhance and improve that IPP because for Adiyan II alone, it will need about 5 megahertz. So both on the IPP side and on the grid side, we need to be able to provide enough power for them. We're happy with what the contractor is doing, and we're happy that it's a job that the locals, the citizens all around there are happy with them because there's a full restitution that is being done, and I think that you can see that they are a responsive corporate organization that is working in tandem with the local community, and you can see from the reception that we receive that there are no local issues. Compensations have been paid by ourselves and Ogun State government, and a few other alignment issues or a few other encroachment that we notice on the right of way will come and address that. So, gentlemen, I mean, I think it's been good news to our ears. It's been another promise that we've given. It appears delayed, but we're assuring you that this project will be completed in the life of this administration. It will be a project that all Lagosians will be truly proud of. It will be a project that will improve and enhance the social, economy and lifestyle of Lagosians, where you know how important drinkable water is. You know how important, that we provide, as part of the living standard of a big city. Water is one critical component that government has to be able to meet, and we're happy that Adiyan II will be living, up to that responsibility. We want to thank all of our staff with the Lagos State Water Corporation, led by Mukhtar Jijani, the new MD. We want to thank him for all of the reforms and all of the reorganization that is happening with that corporation. You could see all the staff were very happy that turned up this morning. We want to thank him and thank his entire management. We want to thank the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources, who are the monitoring agency, and all the other MDAs that are working with them. But I think it's also appropriate to encourage our main contractor, Mr. Salini, for staying on course, for keeping alive, this project, and for giving us the commitment that, they will do everything to make sure that this project is completed. All of the consultants, everybody that has been part of this, and the local community.
The governor emphasized that providing potable drinking water to improve residents' living standards is a fundamental government responsibility, especially in a mega city like Lagos. He further noted that efforts will be made to lay pipes across the Lagos Lagoon to supply water to the island, including Ikoyi and Lekki.